All right, so now we're applying the Midnight Flame Demi-permanent color on her ends, just like so. Now remember, you can still swipe this color up to that second formula and merge them together. You don't want demarcation lines just because you're doing 3 formulas. You're still able to merge them.
Louder, screaming louder, my superpower. Gonna take you higher.
Hello to all the hair besties in the land. I'm back with my friend and client, Hannah. How long has it been?
It has been like 6 months.
It's been a minute. Let's take a look at the top of your head here.
Definitely need a good touch up.
Yes, you love being red, correct?
I do. I am loving the red.
The fiery reds, right?
Yes.
And you're gonna be brightened up today because look at her rootage. She's grown out her natural hair to level 6, which is beautiful. I wanna ask all the hair besties out there, do you ever have struggle with retouching copper red hair and worry about the demarcation line, worrying about the hot roots that you get because the scalp glow? A lot of us have challenges during retouches. I remember coming out of beauty school and I'll touch up one of my red hair clients and I'm like, why is the scalp glowing? What's going on? How do you formulate? How do you refresh the hair? Do you pull the permanent color through? Do you use Demi-permanent? Today I'm going to show you how to formulate with Demi-permanent color with our new Midnight Flame series.
Ooh, I get to try something new.
Yes! You get to try the Midnight Flame! A color that we've needed for a long time, and you get the fiery red on your hair.
I'm so
Are you
excited.
ready?
I'm so
And
ready.
you like the name Midnight, huh?
I do.
So
I loved Midnight Love, was it last
yeah,
time?
we're gonna use that too.
Okay.
So we're gonna
Love that one.
We're gonna mix Midnight Love with Midnight Flame on you. Ready to get started?
All the midnights.
All the midnights.
All the midnights.
Everything happens at midnight. All right, let's get started. Let's mix color, come on. All right, so the first formula is Midnight Flame Permanent color, which has a copper red base. So copper is the primary tone, red is the secondary tone. So you can have a fiery tonality. Now we don't want to put this directly onto her rootage because you're gonna get a hot root, a glowy scalp. That usually happens. Normally I'll do like 10 volume of the scalp, 20 in the mid shaft, but because Hannah, her natural hair is a level 6, I don't need to use 20 or 30 or 40 volume. We only need to use 10 volume. So we get to preserve the integrity of her hairs. I'm gonna squeeze in 40 grams of Midnight Flame 7. 40 grams, always measure with a scale. You have to measure so you get to have perfect formula every time. Write down your formula so when your clients come back, you know the recipe so that way you get to recreate it on your client because Hannah doesn't want to come back and get a surprise. Hannah, for the longest time we've done rose gold on you in the past. What made you like red so much?
I don't know, I feel like there was one time you did it and it was a little bit deeper and at night and like when it was darker, people were like, oh, I love your red hair. I'm like, it's not red, but thanks. And then kind of faded to a coppery color and people were like, I love your strawberry blonde hair.
You like the whole
And then
fade
we
out
got,
process
worked
too.
into deeper reds. Yeah, I do.
Well, a lot of people are so worried about the fade out process of red, but you actually embrace the evolution.
I like it. Goes from like red and then it can sometimes fade to a nice strawberry blonde or a nice like light copper.
You embrace the changes.
Like it faded out so natural looking here.
Look at that. This is so beautiful.
I love it. Everyone thinks I'm a natural redhead.
Technically, you still look good. We just want to freshen you up.
Yeah.
So the next formula I'm going to put in is Twilight Dream 7. This has a brown gold base. So you only need about 5 grams or 10 grams of this, depending on how much you want in there. I'm going to put in 10 grams of Twilight Dream 7 because this goes on her rootage. I don't want that glowy scalp. Okay, so 10 grams. This is very pigmented, so you don't need too much. So that is 50 grams of color. Now we're going to use 10 volume, equal parts. Okay, because it's permanent color. Oop, put that right in. 50 grams of 10 volume developer. You want to make sure you add a little bit of the Tang MyHero collagen powder in. Boom, there you go. And then Olaplex #1. There we go. Less is more. All right, we're gonna mix the color. I like to use a whisk to mix up the color instead of a brush because you don't want to damage your expensive brush and it gets all frayed and all over the place. When you're mixing 2 colors, it's very important to make sure you mix it very well so it's not clumpy, okay? So that way the 2 formulas get thoroughly mixed together so you don't get splotchy, okay? Color application. You don't want your hair to be splotchy, right?
No, never. Absolutely not.
We don't want that. We want even coverage, right?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Time to put on the hand condoms. All right, here we go. Gotta protect the hands because every time I forget these things, I end up coloring my nails.
No, it's not good. You can't ruin the nails.
No. Ugh.
It's a tragedy.
It is a tragedy because you have to buff it off and then now
Yeah.
you damage your nails.
Nail polish remover, all of it.
No, we don't want that. So you gotta protect your hands, okay? So remember, this formula has 10 grams of Twilight Dream 7 in that Midnight Flame. We don't want the scalp to glow. Even though her hair is a natural level 6, it still exposed a lot of pigment because we're doing permanent color. Anytime you're introducing permanent color means it lifts the natural hair, exposes the natural underlying pigment, and then you deposit color. Permanent color has this stigma and stereotype where people think it's gonna last forever. So, oh, you know, I want my hair color to be permanent. No, sometimes you need to choose Demi-permanent, hence why we're not gonna use permanent color on her ends because we don't want to damage her hair. So you do want to section the hair, apply this to the rootage, spread this out like you're doing a retouch, and feather the product out, just like so. Apply this throughout, and make sure you hit all of that regrowth. And we're only gonna use 10 volume throughout her whole entire head. We're only gonna feather through the mid shaft and not on the ends because her ends does have some old blonde highlights there. So if you end up running permanent color through the ends, you're gonna dry her hair out. And Hannah's trying to grow her hair out, right, Hannah?
Yeah.
So you've been having your hair short for a long time, right?
I know, I did. I'm growing it back out. Feels good.
What made you decide to grow your hair out again?
New chapter.
New chapter in your
New
life?
look, new chapter, yeah.
Because throughout,
Out with the old, in with the new.
you
I
had
guess
bangs.
back to what I was before. Yeah, I did, I had bangs.
You know, copper reds are so popular now more than ever. For a long time, this last decade of 2010 to 2020, we were going silver, we're going ash. Nobody wanted to be copper for a long time. But what I love about this decade moving into 2020 after is that we're embracing copper, golds, warmth, and that includes you.
I know, I see so many people going red.
Well,
I love it. It's so
you
pretty.
never been red before, right? Until me.
Until you, yeah. No, I had never been red.
And now you're never going back.
I know. Everyone tells me to stay red.
It looks so good on you because let's take a look at your eyeballs. Look at your eyes.
Look at my eyeballs.
Look at your eyeballs. They're green.
They are.
So the
Yes.
red
Yeah.
complements it, right?
It does. Makes them pop.
So what's been new with you, Hannah?
Not much, just been working.
Okay,
working
because
hard.
we talk about social media quite a bit, right?
We do.
And we notice that there's a lot of platforms going on. There's TikTok, there's
So many.
Threads, and now Twitter is X.
Yeah, and then there's Lemon8 and
It's so confusing, isn't
I
it?
know. I'm like, there's too many. I can't keep up with all that. Like posting on one is enough work, but posting to all of them.
In the past, like in the 90s and 80s, we didn't have to think about those things. So we go out more often. Like we go to the arcade, to the mall.
Yeah. I still go out to things, but I like film so much stuff. My friends are like, you're so good about taking content. I'm like, it's just the way my brain works now.
Everything is content now,
know,
right?
yeah.
When you go out eat, you have to take pictures. When you go to the gym, you have to make a video.
Yeah.
Everything is
I like
content.
it. My camera's full of memories.
Yeah, that's
So.
true. So how do you know what to post on your social media platform? Because a lot of people feel like they have to stay on brand. They have to post, like if you're hair, you have to be hair. If you're like, you know, a certain thing, you have to stay within a niche. Like what do you do to figure out what you post on your platform? Because I know you as a model originally, right?
Yeah, I'd say lately I've been moving more towards just what I feel passionate about. So a big thing for me is like fashion and style. So I've been moving more towards that than just like photos from shoots. Or for a while I was posting a lot of travel content because I was traveling all the time. So now I feel like I'm finally moving more towards fashion, which just feels so good for me. And my friends see it too. They're like, see how much I love it. And they've always seen me in it ever since I was a kid. I've always been very passionate about like my outfits and style and stuff. So I feel like I've been moving more towards that lately.
I like how you use the word passionate because without passion, we don't have anything. Passion
Yeah.
is what drives you. You have to be passionate about what you do, what you post to keep you going because if you're just a robot just posting things because you have to, it doesn't
Agreed.
feel genuine and authentic,
Yeah,
correct?
I feel like it was more stressful in the past for me because I was just trying to keep up with everything, with everyone else and like what I felt like I needed to post. And now, you know, I found some other friends who are in the same space and we'll just like go to coffee and take each other's filter pics and videos, and I like it.
Well, you know what it is? Burnout is real.
Oh, it is.
It's so easy to get burnt out, right? Because when you're posting things you're not passionate about, the flame doesn't keep burning, so you burn out.
It's true. You don't want to take content, you don't want to edit, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to post it because you don't feel good about it because you genuinely don't like it overall.
Because it feels like a chore.
Even if it's a great photo,
It feels like a chore. It feels like, oh, I'm supposed to post this at 5 p.m. or 9 p.m. And then because it feels like everyone's collaborating with something to get an audience or something, so everything feels inauthentic. So what happens is your natural passion isn't there. I've been working on my mental health because for the longest time, I just post only hair. But what I noticed that it's very important to me to post like my dogs, my husband, my music, my food, anything I do.
Yeah, I love seeing your life. Like I love seeing all the food you eat. I love your dogs, and I love Almar, obviously. So I like seeing you post more of your lifestyle because I genuinely care about you as a person, and I know that comes from us being friends, but also I love seeing what you eat. It like inspires me to try more of all the restaurants that you go to, and I love your dogs, and I love Almar. And it just shows your true personality.
I noticed that because you end up liking my posts or engaging my posts more when it's not just a hair post, right? And that's what I noticed too. I noticed that when you are authentic and genuinely yourself and posting what you are, you naturally attract people that are attracted to you, which gives you good energy. When you are trying to attract all these other people to like you and you don't even like yourself, you're actually causing the burnout yourself, right?
Well, people see it too. I mean, because people can like feel your personality and your energy through posts, and when you're not passionate about something, you can tell that it just feels ingenuine.
It's like a copy paste.
Yeah.
Let me just post this up because I'm supposed to.
Exactly, and everyone needs, some more positivity in their lives. I feel like they gravitate more towards creators who are more positive and have like good energy that make them feel good. So it's like fun. I feel like all of your videos are always so positive, and I love all your ramen videos.
And the noodles and all the food I
and your
post.
music videos and everything. Like there's just so much going on.
You like seeing me being happy.
I do. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's why, I still have you as my client here today because I enjoy it.
7 years later, here we are.
Here we are after 7 years.
Yeah.
It's because you have such good energy. You support me, I support you, and I like that. And that we have open conversations about this. And this is nothing to be ashamed of. We're all human, and guess what? We all have insecurities, right?
We do.
So what happens is we try to please everyone. And when you're trying to please everyone but yourself, nobody is happy. Because you have to be happy with what you share. And it's kind of scary to share yourself with the world because guess what? You're gonna get hate, you're gonna get judged.
You are.
People's gonna judge what you post.
But they're gonna judge you no matter what, so. You can be amazing, but everyone has different tastes. So someone will always just like something you're doing.
So don't be afraid to be yourself. And I know that sounds so cliche. Be yourself. It's really hard to be yourself.
It is, because a lot of people don't want to put themselves out there, because then if someone doesn't like their true self, then it hurts more than if you're putting on a different personality.
Well, you know what too? I noticed with the rise of TikTok and everything, sometimes we do like skits and stuff, which is cool because I used to do a lot of skits as well.
Yeah.
What happens is when we get like a large engagement for a certain post, and then all of a sudden we just stick to doing that same post over and over again because it does well on the algorithm.
Because it works, and I mean a lot of people do that because that's what works and they got bills to pay, so no hate towards that at all, but I definitely give a lot of credit to people who are fully themselves.
So in other words, do what's right for you. And we don't know what
right.
journey you're on in your life because we're all on different journeys, and sometimes if that's what feels right for you, do it, but when it's time for you to evolve and do something different, don't be afraid to
Change
switch
is scary, but it's always good. Yeah, you just want to keep growing. You don't want to stay in the same place forever.
Well, growing is like going through puberty. It's scary.
It's
You're like,
so uncomfortable.
And it's risky.
It is. It's very risky and it's very scary, but overall, change is a good thing and growing is a good thing and leads to, usually, most often,
I totally agree.
positives.
I've noticed a lot of freedom in your voice. Like, we have grown so much over the 7 years since we've known each other.
We really have.
I remember like having a lot of like frustration with social media, people, haters, all these things. But now, 7 years later into our relationship together, you've seen me grow.
I have. And you've seen me grow a lot too. I mean, you met me when I was so young. I had freshly, I think I had been in LA for a month or two, right after I moved here.
But you're focused on your happiness and your mental health, and you find peace in so many things versus even myself, like I'm not as frustrated with judgments in society anymore because I found peace within myself.
Yeah, which is important. At a certain point, you kind of just have to not care anymore.
Yeah.
That's why caring too much is just hurting your mental health and putting way too much stress on your life. People are gonna hate and try to bring you down no matter what, and that goes through people that follow you and people that are you're friends with or work with.
You know, because guess what? Social media is going to change. The algorithm is going to change. Different platforms are going to start. So many things are going to change with or without you.
Exactly.
The one thing you have control over is your happiness. And sometimes it's hard to be happy when you're not feeling happy, right?
Yeah.
But I found a way to compartmentalize in my head on how to find that place. And it's hard to find, but you end up finding this place of peace in your head. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, Hannah, where you could find peace if you just kind of close your eyes and center yourself.
Yeah.
You've heard about that, right? Because you realize you cut out all the noise and then you remember who you are, what you stand for. And then from that point on, you know your direction in life. All right, we're gonna go to Formula 2. So when you take a look at Hannah's hair here, I applied the Formula 1 with the Twilight Dream 7 on the rootage. So remember, this has that brown gold color in it, so it's gonna look a little bit more browner because I don't want her scalp to glow. So this is very important that we do the Midnight Flame 7 10 volume through her mid shaft. I'm gonna avoid any of her ends because I don't want to pull permanent color through there. So we are gonna use Midnight Flame 7. Here's the swatch right here, so you get to see what it looks like. Midnight Flame 7 is very concentrated, very, very pigmented. It is beautiful. Like I said, it's a copper red base. So copper means orange, red means red. Together you get fire. You love the fire.
I love the fire.
Do you like the name Midnight Flame?
I do, I love Midnight Flame.
Equal parts with 10 volume. Okay, let's go ahead and mix this right on up. Okay, so this is Midnight Flame 7. Now, what you're gonna notice about oxidative colors is the color in the bowl is creamy. You're not gonna see that red tone because it's gonna oxidize and develop in her hair. We're gonna introduce the Olaplex. Now, what I love about using Olaplex is that it has a pH of 3.5, so it ensures that the pH is dropped, so it's not so high in alkalinity because her hair is more fine. And then we're gonna use the Tang MyHero powder, and this is gonna repair the amino acids and protein structure in her hair. A little bit goes a long ways, and we're gonna whisk that right on up. Now we're gonna apply this to your mid shaft. All right, so we're here to my second formula. You can see here how I'm leaving all of her ends out because her ends are pretty porous. We do not want to overlap them because with porous ends, with permanent color, it's gonna get darker, it's gonna get dry. So you want to avoid them. So you're gonna see me swipe the Midnight Flame 7 in its purest form with 10 volume with the collagen powder and Olaplex through just the mid shaft. And you can see the root formula right out here, that rootage there, the color's processing. Now remember, when the hair is wet, it always looks darker. So don't be fooled by what you're seeing. It is gonna be lighter. You'll see it when the hair is dry. And me and Hannah, we're talking about all this conversation about social media. What's really interesting is you go on your Instagram and then you look at your stories and your posts, and your friend who's supposed to be your friend who texts you all the time, who may even call you from time to time, never like any of your posts. But you see them looking at all your stories. But what's interesting is you see them like all of your friends around you posts, and they'll engage with everyone around you, but they don't engage with your posts.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone like that, Hannah?
Oh, absolutely. I know a ton of people like that.
Why is
and
that?
it's like, are you my friend or are you preying on my downfall? You just have to see what I'm doing.
Ooh,
Like,
preying on your
I don't
downfall.
know. You know? Some people are just out there waiting, just waiting, you know?
They're waiting and they want to see you fail.
Exactly.
That's so interesting. Maybe our hair besties or audience can prove this. I don't know. Leave your comments below if you can relate, or maybe there's a different reason that we don't know about.
Yeah, let us know.
But the thing is, like, let's just say they're not on social media often, right? And you get it, but it's the mere fact that you see them engage with everyone around you but you, but yet they'll text you. And the energy just doesn't feel right. And when you finally see them in person, like you bump into them at the mall or somewhere, and you talk to them, you feel like this weird energy. Do you know what I'm talking about, Hannah?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, hi, oh, hey.
Yeah, they act like they love you so much.
Oh, I missed you. We should hang out, but they never. But then when something comes up, they'll text you, oh, I saw that you did this, and they'll text you. And I was like, why didn't you like the post? Why did you comment a post? Why
I always
did
think
you
that's
text
so
me?
funny when I like run into people and they're like, bring up my stories and things I've been doing lately, and I'm like, I mean, you could have responded to one, you could have liked something. I'm like, why lurk and then just bring it up when you see me? I don't know.
My thing is a friend should support you, right?
Agreed.
If they see you, I don't know, maybe release a new album maybe that you worked 2 years on, maybe congratulations. Or maybe try to listen to one of your songs. Or maybe, oh, they see you release a video, maybe try to like it. But no, they'll text you, oh, what was that? Who were you with? They'll call you to ask you questions, like digging for information. Who were you with? Oh, was this person there? I said, but you saw my post, why didn't you comment on it? No, they'll just text you to ask like these questions that has nothing to do with the post.
Even as a girl too, like just with LA, it's like guys don't want like other girls to see they liked your post. So I'll have guys DM me my post, like send me my post in DMs and be like, oh, this photo's awesome. Like this photo's so great, or you look great, or you look hot, or whatever. Okay, but you can't actually like it, so you're gonna just DM it to me. Got it.
Wow.
So they don't want everyone else they're dating to see that they liked my photo.
Isn't it weird? And I know talking about this, people will be like, it's just social media, it's not a big deal. But it kind of is though, because people show their true self on social media. Because people reveal what's in their thoughts.
Yeah, shows how serious they are about you as friends or beyond that.
Well, it's like you can see someone in real life and be like, hey, how are you? But it's really fake, right? But then how they engage on social media, like they'll go on, you know, Ariana Grande's page, I love you so much. I was like, but wait, you never engage with any of my posts like that.
Well, it shows who a good friend is, because a good friend is going to be your biggest supporter. Like my friends that I love, I'm like their biggest supporter, and I just want to see them do so good. And so, I mean, that's how you can tell who doesn't actually really care.
All right, so we're gonna finish applying this throughout her mid shaft, and then we're gonna mix her Demi-permanent color. So I finished applying the second formula. As you can see right there on her ends, all of her ends are left out because it's more porous. Now, this is where you want to introduce the Demi-permanent color. We also have the Midnight Flame 7 in Demi-permanent color. Here's the swatch. I'll put the permanent swatch here and the Demi-permanent swatch here, so you get to see. Now, keep in mind that if you're gonna refresh the ends with deposit only, when you're only depositing, it always looks deeper. So you don't want the ends to look deeper. A way to make the ends look lighter is by introducing gold into the formula, so it brightens the formula so it's not so concentrated, or add clear to it. So if you want to add clear to this formula, you can, or you could add more gold to the formula, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add more gold to the formula, so that way it softens up that dye load on the ends. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna squeeze in the Demi-permanent color Midnight Flame 7. The permanent Tang Mydentity color is in the white box. The Demi-permanent color is in the black box. So always remember, Demi-permanent is 1:2 ratio. Permanent color is 1:1 ratio. And you're gonna use a 6 volume dedicated developer with the Demi. So we're gonna use the Demi right now. And this is Midnight Flame 7. Now, if you're gonna use the whole tube is 55 grams. I'm only gonna use about 30 grams for her ends. So we're gonna do 1:2 ratio, the 6 volume developer. What you're gonna love about 1:2 ratio is that it travels a lot further because you're adding more developer, you get more products. You're gonna whisk that right on up. You wanna make sure it's a nice cream consistency. Now, we are gonna add in LiftMeUp Bright. This is pure gold concentration. You can mix this in with your bleach to lift and deposit gold tones, or you can add it into your permanent or Demi-permanent color. It's amazing. It gives that hair color that you added into so much more brightness and warmth. We're gonna add in the bright, lift me up. Bloop. Oh, there you go. You can see the bright lift me up. We're gonna stir it up right on in. It's gonna enhance that color. Now we're gonna apply this on your ends. It's honestly that easy, okay? 3 formulas so you don't get a flat color. You still get dimension, but it looks like a solid color with dimension. All right, so now we're applying the Midnight Flame Demi-permanent color on her ends, just like so. Now remember, you can still swipe this color up to that second formula and merge them together. Don't be afraid to do that just because one is permanent and one's Demi. You can still merge them together and blend it on down seamlessly. This enables you to have a seamless formula, so it's not like a block. You don't want demarcation lines just because you're doing 3 formulas. You're still able to merge them. And you can see here that second formula is already solidify a little bit, so it's not bleeding. That's the cool thing about the color. Once you apply it, it's not gonna bleed down, so you don't have to worry because the color already sink into the hair by the time you mix your 3rd formula. Now, you take notice how I mix as I go. A lot of times we try to mix all the formulas already. What I learned over time is I want the color to be mixed fresh right before I apply, whether it's your bleach, whether it's your 3 different formulas that you're doing. Sometimes mixing as you go ensures the formula is fully fresh, and that way you get the full oxidation power of the color. The Tang Demi-permanent color and cream has a pH of 6.1 to 6.4. So it's very, very acidic in comparison to many Demi-permanent colors out there that can have a higher pH. The cool thing about having a lower pH is that you get more deposit without lifting the cuticle to the hair, causing more damage, making your hair softer on the ends. Now, this could be your one process, one and done, but if you want to do a second glaze after you wash this formula out on damp hair or dry hair, you can. Know that when you apply color on damp hair, it's always going to be more diluted and won't last as long. So when you apply color on dry hair, it's always going to last longer, and making sure that you process for a full 25 minutes. Always make sure to process for the full time because you want to make sure the dye is fully oxidized, mature into the hair, so that way you get longevity so the color doesn't fade out fast, because we know that reds, copper have that stereotype or stigma with them. People think they don't last as long. It's because we're not letting them process its full time on dry hair, right? So in order for your colors to last long, you want to make sure you do that. So I finished applying that Midnight Flame Demi now, and we're going to process her hair for 25 minutes. And we're gonna rinse her out and we'll be back. So now we're shampooing out Hannah's hair. I want you to see here before we rinse her hair, how even this color looks. Look at her ends with the Demi-permanent color. We matched the color perfectly. So what happens is having that Twilight Dream formula here on her rootage going all the way down, it's gonna give her that natural transition of an ombre tone that looks natural. You could stop here, this could be your one final step, or you can glaze the hair after this so that way the color lasts even longer, because some of our redhead clients might want their color to last longer, but that's all up to you. If you want more pigment, it always looks deeper if you add on another layer. So let's go ahead and rinse her. And you know, we might do it, we might not. It all depends on how we feel, all depends on what your client wants. It's a great add-on service for your client. You could tell your client that you have this option of glazing their hair, and it also adds more shine anytime you're introducing Demi-permanent color. Wow, this color is gonna look gorgeous. And what's really nice is that because your canvas already has so much dimension to it, so this color is gonna look so dimensional. So now we're gonna use the new MyHero Nourishing shampoo to shampoo her hair. Amazing product. It smells like lychee. It's the best ever. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna shampoo your hair with it.
Oh, it smells so good. It smells like I had a lychee martini the other day, and that's exactly what it smells like.
I love lychee. Oh, this color is gonna look so good. Now, remember with reds, it always gets lighter. The first time when I first color it, it always has more depth in it. And then as you shampoo, because you have the highlights in your hair, it will, you know the evolution.
I know.
It gets lighter. So then the next step is up to you. You can apply the conditioner first, or if you want to treat the hair, you could put MyHero Collagen Repair Treatment, which is also a cuticle sealer and hair softener. This is the X2, and this is a professional product. It works amazingly. It locks in the color. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray her hair first, but if you don't want to and you just want to skip straight to the conditioner, you can. We're gonna spray X2 Collagen Repair to lock in the color and soften her hair, mainly on her ends because she needs it right there the most. Okay, we're gonna massage the X2 into her hair and wait about 3 minutes, and then we're gonna put the conditioner right over it. Now we're gonna apply MyHero Nourishing conditioner over the top of the X2. There you go. Let this sit for another minute, and we're gonna rinse this out. All right, we're gonna rinse this out, and we'll be right back. We are back with Hannah's hair!
I am obsessed.
We're not even done yet.
I know, we're not even done, and I'm already like, I love it.
This is step one. We lifted your base, and look how natural that looks. It has so much depth. You can see it
so much
right in.
better.
Look at that, right in through there. Now, I did do the Demi, and I added the bright in through the end, so it won't be as dark. The reason why I did that is because I was concerned the porosity, and what if her hair goes too dark, and then we can't go back. But I'm glad that her ends are lighter, around her face is lighter, right through here, and her layers are lighter. That's exactly what I want. Now, I'm gonna finalize it with a glaze, a color gloss, which will give you more shine. We're gonna do Midnight Flame 7 Demi, which will deposit color only, so it will make her hair even deeper. And you're okay with that, right, Hannah?
Yes, make me so deep and rich.
You want to be deep and rich?
Yes.
Okay, you got it.
Both.
Full pigment all the way. We're gonna use the full tube of Midnight Flame 7. I'm gonna put the swatch right here next to me. It's gonna be so gorgeous. Anytime you want more pigment with red to make it last longer, a second step is a good thing to do, because a lot of times we just wanna do one step and go. This is an upgraded service that you get to provide for your clients, because they say, how can I make my hair color last longer? We can do a color glaze on your hair. 1:2 ratio with 6 volume. So I just added the Tang MyHero collagen powder, and we're gonna put in Olaplex. Boom, all right, there you go. I added in a little bit more Olaplex because we're depositing. I want it to be more acidic, so it's healthier for the hair. So now we're gonna mix this right on up and we're gonna apply it to her hair. All right, we're applying Midnight Flame 7 right on her rootage. And you know what? We're gonna pull this through to her whole entire head. Now, remember when I said that you could apply this on damp hair? Yes, you can, if that's what you wanna do. But also know that red dye molecules are a lot larger, so when you apply it on dry hair, the hair gets to absorb all the dye molecules, so you get more richness, more tonality. So if you want more of a softer tone of copper red, then you can go ahead and do it on damp hair. Remember, there is no wrong. There is only your creativity on how you want to apply it. There are times that I do apply it on damp hair too. It depends on what I'm going for and what expectations you have of the color. So always know that you have that versatility and option to apply it on both damp or dry hair. I like clean application, so that's why I choose a bowling brush, and I always want to do the quadrants because I want to make sure I saturate all the strands of the hair. So you can see here, even when I open her hair up with that little bit of Twilight Dream 7, it creates more of a natural, softer copper there near the scalp, so it's not so harsh. Since I'm adding more tone into the hair will always look darker. So remember, when you add more dye molecule, it's gonna be more richer, more saturated, so you're gonna have more depth. So always let your clients know that adding tone will always increase the depth. Now you can always desaturate and take that level 7 up to an 8 by adding clear. So if you want to do a Midnight Flame 8 or Midnight Flame 9, add more clear. For every quarter clear you add into the formula, you get one level up lighter. Now that we're in here dissecting Hannah's hair, I want you to see how the highlights that she previously had take on the color differently. So you can see how her past highlights here, as I hold her hair out, look at that. You can see the dimension from her previous highlights in there. And it looks lighter, a lighter copper than the darker areas where her natural level 6 is, took on more depth. That is natural, that is beautiful. So we work with the dimensions she already have. So she looks like a dimensional redhead. And you can see here, right when I lift the hair out, you can see all the dimension right in through there. That's so beautiful. And that's the thing, you can still highlight red hair and then glaze over it. And if you are gonna decide to highlight the hair first before you glaze it, make sure you don't lift the hair past a level 8 because you want the hair to have that underlying pigment of copper or gold in it. And the perfect product to use is LiftMeUp, because when you use the Bright LiftMeUp, you get to lift the hair in control and have the gold in there so you don't overlift the hair before you decide to glaze it. Look at how beautiful that color is.
It's so pretty.
Look at that dimension of all the highlights of red in there. That's how you're getting so much dimension. So now when I'm glazing her hair, there's gonna be highs and lows and richness. And that's the thing about red, more dye load, more pigment. All right, we're gonna finish applying this on the rest of her head. We'll return after we rinse it out. All right, 3, 2, 1, the reveal. Look at this color. Hannah, how do you feel?
I'm obsessed. I say this every single time, but this is my favorite.
It gets better
of all
and better.
time. It just keeps getting better.
This is my favorite on you too. And it's so simple. There's no foils involved, no poly.
Which is so nice.
Right? All even application with 3 different formulas and glazing. It's about having that extra step. And you notice a huge difference after I glaze you, right?
Oh, huge. It's so much richer. It's so much more deep. The dimension is crazy.
And that's the thing. There's so many times we skip these steps. Everybody wants to be glazed like a donut, right? When you do a glaze or top coat for the hair, it looks richer. I mean, you can see wherever she moves, it just looks so rich and saturated. The Midnight Flame series is everything. Look at that rootage with a little bit of that Twilight Dream to mute out any shadow rootage situation. And having the 3 formulation, you're able to create that dimension in one step. without foils or anything. It's about knowing how to formulate. I don't know about you, but I'm obsessed!
I'm obsessed. I love this Midnight series.
Thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, follow me on all the platforms. All the links are below. TikTok, Instagram, you know the drill, okay? Show me love, cause I show you love. All right, talk to you soon.
All the love.
Stream my music, by the way. Spotify, Apple Music, all this stuff. Bye.
Till